Welcome to the Signature Series Spotlight podcast. I'm Brittany McManus, CGC's VP of Autographs, and I am so excited to kick off this brand new podcast from our Signature Series team. Here on the pod, we pull back the curtain on the creators behind the signatures you love. On the podcast, you can expect unique conversations from your favorite creators, behind-the-scenes insights, teases of upcoming projects, and exclusive CGC reveals, including new private signings, custom label announcements, and so much more. If it shapes the world of comics or your collection, you'll hear about it right here on the Signature Series Spotlight. Now, to kick off our first episode, welcome our host, Jonathan Diaz.
And hello everybody, Jonathan here from the CGC Signature Series team. Welcome to the first episode of the Signature Series Spotlight podcast. Our first episode, we're starting strong with the kick-ass creative team behind 2025 Eisner Award winner for Best New Series, Absolute Wonder Woman. Eisner Award winning is going to be a recurring theme here because this lineup is stacked. The masterminds behind some of your favorite titles. We've got Kelly Thompson, co-creator of everyone's favorite little land shark, Jeff, and writer behind acclaim runs on Hawkeye, Captain Marvel, Gem and the Holograms, and more. Hayden Sherman, one of the most innovative artists working today. Their striking visual style has defined everything from Blink, The Few, Batman Dark Patterns, and now they're delivering some of the most breathtaking pages in Absolute Wonder Woman. And of course, Jordie Bellaire, the colorist whose bold, unmistakable palettes bring every panel to life with industry's defining work on World Tree, Birds of Prey, Department of Truth, Detective Comics, and countless others. Jordie is a creative force behind some of today's most iconic comics. Together, these three have had a massive year shaping DC's biggest books, Absolute Wonder Woman. Here to talk about the book, their work, and their upcoming in-house signing with CGC. Without further ado, please welcome our guests, Kelly Thompson, Hayden Sherman, and Jordie Bellaire. I'm sorry if that was long-winded, but I wanted to give you guys your props.
You did an amazing job, Jonathan. Thanks for having us. I think all of us have pretty impressive credits, but I did when you started doing Jordie's, I was like, well, we could be here all day.
Yeah.
Like Jordie has just a mind-blowing number of cool credits. It's truly impressive.
Yeah, I know.
Work with cool people.
Yeah, I know it's hard to put in a little blurb, but as best we can.
You did great, Jonathan. I actually felt the same about Hayden's work as you started to list it all, because I thought, oh, there's so much there. That is going to be a mouthful as well.
Yeah.
So how are all you guys doing today?
Good. The holiday, it's amazing how stressful it is. Like, it's supposed to be great. When you're a kid, it's great, and you don't realize that that's not going to be true later, because when you're an adult, even though there's nice stuff, it's just the chores like double.
Oh yeah.
In order to have a good time, all these errands must double.
You've got to make the magic.
Yeah.
You can't just live in the magic.
Literally, it's great.
Yeah.
So, first question I have for you guys. Wonder Woman has been reimagined countless times. What did you want your version to say about who she is today? I'm guessing this would be more for Kelly.
Well, I think I'll just say at the front of their very front of this, which is the place to put it, that I would say that one of the big reasons Absolute Wonder Woman is enjoying such incredible success and why people are responding it so much is because it really is a creative team all pulling in the same direction. Like, we're very united on the vision for the book, and it just makes everything easier. Like, arguments honestly, there are no arguments. The arguments are always very surface, like Jordie and I arguing about eye color on issue 1 and how we were going to establish that. And Jordie's like, I just like to feel it out. And I'm like, Jordie, we need rules, So that's the kind of stuff, but everyone sees the book, I think, and the character the same way, which makes it much easier. Because I just think there's a real understood. It's just sort of understood that we're all wanting the same thing for her, and we see her the same way. For me, certainly I was the one who got there first and who was trying to make these decisions before these guys got roped into it. And that was definitely about, I I think I was primarily interested in making sure we captured what's real about her and what people respond to Diana in any world with. But I confess that though it wasn't my feeling from the jump, as we got into it, I became aware of how often she's like a very dark, violent version in alternate reality takes, and that didn't seem like a good direction for us, both because of the darkness of that world we were already going to be creating and building within. I thought her lightness within that, against all odds, would probably shine really bright and feel all the more powerful for coming through despite odds stacked against her. And I do think, especially because of a lot of her other alt reality takes being so like kill heavy, that this more positive version of her, I think it rang true for people. I also think people sort of need it right now, both in the absolute world and just in our world. Like, you know, you can't just have grim without, you need that shot through of hope. And I think that it's a constant balance in this book about how much hope there is and how much grimness, and we're on a journey with that. But that was sort of where it came from. Was I wanted her to be the character people have always loved, just with some new tricks up her sleeve and some new history and some different odds, you know?
Yeah, and to add on to that, I think like early on, the most fun part about this whole project is it's the darkest, like it feels like just aesthetically off of this, it's the most like grim set dressing and grim costuming that Wonder Woman has had, more or less. It feels like it feels like she should. A lot of people expected, I think, when we first showed the costume and stuff, that, oh, another grim dark take on Wonder Woman. But it's been so fun, as people now have had over a year with her, this version of her, to see like, oh, that contrast of her, this new set of origins she has, this new world that she inhabits, but her still being who we know and love. They come together and draw out even more that I already loved about Wonder Woman, that I feel like Kelly is getting to draw out in an even heightened way now, because it is so in conversation with those other versions of her and stuff. I don't know.
I totally agree with that. And I think that the subversion of it was risky, because it was risky at the beginning because you risk turning people off like that. Like all of the choices we were making, like the design choices, especially because those were the most evident to people paying attention, was what she looked like. And they were all choices that had gone badly for Wonder Woman in the past. And we were just like, this is a real risk, but we all know this is cool. Like in our bones, we can feel how cool this is. And then I thought that if we could just get over the hump, like if we could just get people to buy in and try that first issue, that the subversion of it would really work in our favor. Her feeling like she's supposed to be some character that doesn't give a crap about you, and then, oh, she gives more of a crap than anyone's ever given. Like, that's a really fun subversion if we could just get them to buy into the first issue. And they really did. So I think it was a risk. I'm glad. I think a lot of other companies would have waved us off and been afraid, especially in that first issue. I mean, there's two named characters that people know in your first issue of a major relaunch. That's a weird move to make. And, it worked. It worked so well. It worked better than anything I've ever done before. I'm so grateful for the team in us getting there, but I do think that it's like belief that like holds the book up. Belief in Diana, belief in each other, like belief in what we're doing has a real power behind it.
Well, your decisions definitely paid off. Kelly, this question goes pretty much towards that. Your story decisions shape the aftermarket. Does knowing that collectors slab key moments of first appearance influence how you structure a reveal or debut in a series?
So this is a funny thing that I'm not sure how this will go over among the slabbers of the world. I don't have a lot of space for that kind of thing in my current house, but I was slabbing before slabbing was real, because when I was a teenager, I had an extra copy I bought of X-Men number 24, the Gambit and Rogue Andy Kubert issue, and I had that framed on my wall. And I would sometimes buy extras of a book I really loved and then cut them up and like make a collage inside a frame. So like I was trying to do this way back when. So I think that it's incredibly cool to realize that choices you're making are like that people are like, holy crap, I gotta have that moment. Like that feels really amazing, but it's really I'm always looking at the character in the story first. Like I'm really looking for, are we delivering a good comic? I do think that delivering a good comic that also sells well means you need 2 to 3 key things that happen per issue that you're able to use some to spoil the issue and then still retain some surprises for people who are actually reading in the issue. And if you're working toward that, if you're looking for those moments, I think that does sort of organically create those moments you're talking about. And listen, I think some of this is just getting better at comics. Like for me to be getting better and also to be having a team that's allowing you that room to grow. I think that's part of it.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's a plus that if you debut a character and then it becomes something that people want to slab, that's like, wow, that's just like an extra bonus on top of what you guys already did.
Yeah, I mean, like when we went into issue 11, I mean, that turned out to be one of my favorite issues that has that reveal of the trident on the last page. And like, I knew that was a cool moment to end on, but until we saw it, and quite frankly saw it colored, because Jordie did the coloring that she did on that blew my mind. Like I knew when Hayden designed that, I knew Hayden was going to design an incredible trident made of water, this sentient water. I knew that was going to look incredible. Of course it would. But then I didn't know Jordie was going to be able to do that with all the light and the reflected light. It took it to such another level. It ended up being one of my favorite pages. And it's just like the random last cliffhanger page of issue 11. And it's one of my favorite pages. Like, that's cool. That's cool when a place that you're not expecting that you'd have, it's the penultimate issue. Like maybe that's a little quieter or something, right? And instead, it's like one of my favorite pages of the whole run so far.
Can I just gas Kelly up really quick? I've been wanting to say it for a minute, and I don't think Kelly will appreciate it in a sense, because I think she's not going to believe it. But I feel like you're hitting this like Spielberg note right now with your comic writing in a way that when you do get to this, and I've worked with you for such a long time now, Nate. Like, and I've seen you come up. Like, I would say like Hawkeye was like this fun like Veronica Mars, Nancy Drew love affair type thing, right?
Yeah.
And you just kept accelerating and like breakneck speed. And when I get these Wonder Woman scripts, like I kind of wonder what God you're channeling or something. Like it's fascinating to see you grow, and I only can see that Hayden and I are just picking up what you put down. I think that's something I was going to say earlier. I think it's just been a really beautiful alignment. Some people might call it lightning in a bottle, but I think you said too, we all care about the same things. We all want to serve the art the same way. Oh, and just to go back, I remember with that eyeball comment at the beginning, right? There was like there was a time where I just wrote back to our editor, because I felt like our editor, who I think needs a shout out to because they have given us a lot of trust and a lot of patience, is Chris Conroy. Love Chris Conroy. But Chris said to us, like, sorry about this, Jordie. Do you have time? And I just said to all of us, like, we want to make a good book, right? Like, sure. Like, this isn't about my ego. It's not about Kelly or Hayden's ego. Chris doesn't even have an ego in it. We're literally just all serving this character with such humility and love for it as possible. So, but yeah, Kelly, I just think you've been hitting a Spielberg note every day. Congratulations to you, man.
You're so sweet. You're so sweet. I do
love you,
think
Kelly.
it's a really good team. I do think my writing is hitting a new level, but I do think that it wouldn't have happened without this team and without like I write something down and they just know what I'm talking about. Like I don't have to explain it. I don't have to. Hayden sent this thing in. And I can't remember for the issue we're working on right now, which is 16. Hayden's almost done with drawing because they're a machine. And I don't remember if the script called out for it specifically, but Diana's in this crowd of people. And Hayden just sent it to me over like the Thanksgiving. They were like, hey, here's this panel to how to turn out. And I was like, I mean, It's my dream panel. It's like the panel I've went my whole life, and it's just like a random crowd scene, but just what they capture about it is like always what I'm looking for. They just know. Like I always hope I'm writing scripts that are helping the rest of the team understand what I think is important in the moment, like whether it's an emotional thing or this is the beat we're trying to show that this is happening. But I really we all very much speak the same language here, and I've been very lucky with creative teams my whole life, but I've never had it quite gel like this. I would also say, to go to Jordie's thing, I know there can be a lot of ego in this stuff. I haven't experienced a lot of that. I've been really lucky again with my creative teams, but I would say that I think I've never had a book that's as successful either. And it does seem to me like a year into a book that's successful, maybe that's when people start having egos or being a problem. And like, no, it hasn't happened at all. Exactly. I feel like we're exactly the same as when we started. We're just some idiots trying to make a really good comic because we love Wonder Woman. Like, I don't know. It's been really beautiful. It's been really beautiful.
It has, like, and really, like, Kelly, you fully do. Like, I feel like with every issue, it's like it's your serve, and you fully nail your serve.
Heck
and then, like, everything is just, I don't know, like, getting to react to drawing from, getting to just sit down, like, the first day with any script, and getting to just, like, emotionally connect and react with what you're putting out there on the script is such, like, I hope we get to make this book forever, just because I value that day that I get to sit down and read it for the first time as a script so much.
Yeah.
And then getting to translate it. I mean, anytime you feel it connects, like, for what you're looking for, or if I'm lucky and can exceed expectation, it's a joy. But so much of that, like, really also then, like, to like go to Jordie here. Holy shit, man!
Yeah.
Like, Jordie, I don't know if I've gotten to, like, I don't know if I've properly expressed how happy I am to be working with. It's great to be able to say this in person. Because, like, I don't know. Working with you has made me a better artist. Like, I've learned so much.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I've become a better colorist.
See, this is what I'm saying. We're all like, each of us is making each other better. I mean, we're making me sick a little bit at this point, but it's accurate. Like, I just feel like it's what's really happening, and like this work is lucky work to do no matter what.
Agreed.
But like, it's hard not to be sort of just awestruck by it when it's happening like this, when not only because there are a lot of times when you're putting in, I don't know if it's quite this amount of synced energy, but something like this, and then the audience doesn't respond, and it's heartbreaking because you're like, I'm doing everything I can. Why can't people see, what this is? And so it's so many things sort of coming together at the same time, like that perfect team on that perfect character at that perfect moment, and the audience just gets it. And I mean, I've been trying to hit this home run for like 10 years, so it's great.
Out the park now, Kelly.
Yeah, it's great that it's happening.
Yeah. It's definitely great when you find that team that you gel with and everything just works. That's kind of how it is with us at the Signature Series team at CGC. We all kind of mesh well together, and everyone works very well together. And I also love how this conversation has become a happy compliment circle.
It's bound to happen.
So back to the last question, talking about debuts. Absolute Wonder Woman 12, we got our first look at Absolute Zatanna, my favorite character, which is already gaining attention as a potential key moment issue for collectors. Are you able to tease or talk a bit about her debut in this series?
So if we're talking about for collector market stuff, I mean, issue 16 is the first time you guys are going to see her drawn by Hayden in not a weird astral projection, form that she was sort of trapped in when we saw her in 14, and not the sort of prison nightmare situation she was in 12. So that'll be fun. She'll also have some other characters with her. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that name because of that email we got, so I'm just not going to say that. Anyway, but she's incredible. I think for people who are looking for the big Zatanna issues of that arc, there's really juicy first appearance, like quote unquote first appearance, first way of seeing her in her costume in a non-astral form, drawn by Hayden, is 16. There's some fun stuff with her in 15, or not 15. Don't freak out, everybody. Not 15. That's a Batman issue. 17, I meant. There's some fun stuff, but then 18, I think, for the Zatanna Diana people out there in the world who are getting very excited about them. I think the most interaction will be in 18, actually, before the wrap-up of that arc, which is 20. So there's a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, I'm writing 17 right now, and it is straight up wild. And then 18 will be, I don't know, I think it'll be equally wild. It's going to drum up really fast in this one. So the stakes are very big, and Diana's in some trouble. But yeah, there's a lot of, if you're looking for like key moment stuff, there's stuff in every issue, which makes me feel great. It makes me feel like we've built it right. You know, there's a debut of a character, and I believe it's going to happen at the end of 17. There's something really dramatic that happens to Diana in 17. 18 is going to have that Diana Zatanna stuff. 19 and 20, I don't think I could say, but you know, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff we put on the board, and hopefully it's all paying off. I would also say people who have been anxious to see Aphrodite, she'll be appearing in this arc. She shows up right away in issue 16. So that's another thing that people might want to mark for Spotlight issues.
Ooh, guys, well, for everybody listening, sounds like we're going to get some really good stuff coming out.
It's a lot of stuff coming down the pike.
Actually, this question is for you, Hayden. When creating a new designs for iconic characters like Zatanna or even Wonder Woman herself, how do you balance legacy and innovation?
Legacy and innovation. I think with both of them, but I mean Wonder Woman particularly, it's kind of finding the immovable objects of their costume, like finding the like things you need that like. I don't know, with Wonder Woman, I think we kind of whittled it down. Like the initial design process was a bit of a shotgun blast of like, here's a bunch of stuff, and like, let's see if we can like whittle down what we love, what we don't like, you know, blah 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 blah, blah, and hopefully like get somewhere that we find interesting. And along that route, we found like we needed you need things like the WW on there. You need that like on the chest piece. You need a red torso. Some sort of gauntlet, but obviously ours are asymmetrical. She's only got one gauntlet or wristband, so like that didn't need to be symmetrical in order for us to feel like we were hitting that note. And then like the big hair, like she needs to have wavy locks. And then like outside of that, once you've got those in place, you can start playing with materials. Like what is this stuff made out of? You can start playing with, like you get your big shapes in place, and then everything else you can have fun with. And with Kelly setting this up as Wonder Woman from Hell, Witch Wonder Woman, all of that, then it felt like it needed to be like it had been through hell. It needed to feel like it had properly been a little bit more scrappy, a little bit more put together, a bit more. She doesn't have like the Forges of Themyscira or something backing her up. Whatever.
Yeah, or anything like super sci-fi and high tech, like it's sort of ready to go.
Yeah, like with the wristbands, like maybe she only had enough metal to make one, and then she's got to make her best with the other and stuff like that, and just wrap it up. So trying to like find those ways to further whatever this particular version of the character. Well, actually, maybe that's who I would put it. You got your immovable objects, and then you've got whatever serves the story, and then hopefully you can find the nesting point with both of those.
That immovable objects, we've never talked about that before. That is a really, really smart.
I was gonna say, so intelligent and classy. Like I can't believe like how thorough your thoughts are. And when you talk to me about the elements and materials, I'm like, I've worked with so many artists. I don't think anybody thinks like this. Like, Hayden, you're on another level, babe. You're thinking about it all. I love it. I think it's just it makes me want to listen to you forever. Whenever you're ready to just talk at us. I want to hear all about your innovation.
No, I never talk about this stuff forever.
I never would have described it that way, but I think that's exactly the same approach to the character when I was talking about looking for those things that people have. Those are the immovable things, right? The things that have to be there, or else you're like, well, it's just a different character now.
Mhm.
And that was what I was running into when you'd make her too violent or too god killer like, or any version, all those versions of that. I'm just like, but is that even Diana now? Like,
Yes.
but I found that if we made her more magical and we changed her environment and some of these circumstances and some of the choices she would make, it still felt like Diana, but it felt different and interesting enough. I mean, the magic was a big game changer, of course, because that allowed us to make a lot of different changes and to all of them be propped up by Circe in a way that was really emotionally relevant. It really helped to redefine the character. And it helped even more that I think people think of prime Diana as she should have more magic. Like they always love it when she shows up in Justice League Dark and everything. So it was already a pretty natural fit for like the world she trades in,
Yeah, you guys definitely did a great job of keeping her, when everybody sees her, oh, that's Wonder Woman, but it being so different still.
Yeah.
Jordie, this question is for you. When starting a new series like Absolute Wonder Woman, do you build a palette guide early on, or does the identity emerge as you work through the issues?
It's funny you say that because I made a color map for the first issue, and I did make it, and it took a long time to make it. And I thought, this is going to be so good. I'm going to be so thorough. And then I made it. And then I can't remember what it was. I think I like sat with the script a bit longer and I realized, oh, I've totally fluffed this. Like this isn't, I can't remember. It might have been a color of a person. I can't remember, like a magical thing. And I was like, well, that's gone. I've got to redo it. Maybe it was a lasso. Do we see a lasso at the end of the first issue? I think it was something that I didn't. That's what it is. I think I had considered the lasso, and so that's my fault. So I was like, I've got to go back through and really go like get in the material really. And I realized this color map isn't going to be perfect. So I kind of just like hit the ground running with it. But it just, like Kelly said earlier, I think I kind of just got a feel for it as I read the material and as I got into the character and like where they were and this place that she is. It all just kind of, the colors just spilt out from there, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. We had a lot of, I think probably Jordie and I had a lot of sort of ideological push and pulls in that first issue, just as we're trying to establish tone. Like, what are the materials that she came back with? What are these tools that she has to her disposal? What color does her magic look like? Like we had, I think we were, like, for example, we had lit on this sort of sickly greenish color as like her and Circe's magic. But then in issue 2, we wanted this sort of energy star, which everyone really loved and we were really excited about doing and we should do more of. Although Hayden just put it on a cover. I just put it on a cover for, is that 17? 18. 18. Yeah. Anyway, people loved it, and my instinct, or I can't remember, one of us thought it should be green, probably me, but it came back, Jordie did it gold, and it was perfect because that felt right for Diana, right? And so there were a lot of that as we're sort of pushing on the boundaries. Like, how much of this do we have to keep consistent so it feels like there are rules that people feel like they have something to grab onto? And how much is you want the panel to look badass? And sometimes the red eyes just feel right for the moment, right? And if you pinned us down about, oh, well, why are her eyes red right there in that moment? The answer is sometimes because that's what looks best, and this is a visual.
No, it's because she's done magic, Kelly. We set the right rules.
I mean, I'm saying we have vague rules. We have
guidelines.
We have guidelines we use, but I'm just saying, the push comes to pull. Sometimes things just feel a different way, and like I think there's beauty in like going on that journey for your book and like figuring that out amongst your team. And I will say that I think it's worked because we don't have those arguments they were never arguments,
but call them arguments.
Yeah, no, I'm saying they're not arguments, but we don't really have that push. We don't have that push and pull. I mean, when was the last time we talked about Diana's eyes? Like, I just say, I think they're this here, and you do it, or you go, no, they're that, or you go, no, it's this, and I go, yeah, she's right, that looks better.
Yeah.
So, and then we move on, So.
Yep. We're all servant again. We're all just trying to serve the story as best as possible. Diana's story. So it's like, I'll make the eye color whatever works.
She's the boss, really. She's the
Diana's the boss, really, at the end of the day.
Even Chris is like, whatever Diana wants.
Exactly.
And it's definitely fun to hear as a reader and for readers out there, just to know how much just goes into picking eye colors when you're creating a story
Oh
like this.
gosh, yeah. There were
Yeah,
a
I
good,
mean,
I would say,
maybe
17 emails about it.
yeah,
Sure.
I think we had
Andrea, yeah.
Andrea stepped in a couple
Oh, I
times when
love
Chris
her.
was away, and we all love her. But she walked into an eye color quagmire one time, and she came to me, she's like, "How serious is this eye?" Like, and I was like, "It's nothing." I was like, "We're just figuring it out. It's early days."
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that a lot of creative teams probably don't have those conversations, and you maybe don't have to, but I feel like everyone is like, listen, I'm doing my A+ work and staying after school for the extra credit. So
Yep,
yeah,
100.
we care about the eye color right here.
100. I care about all those details. It's what makes it
Yeah.
like a legacy title, I think, because
Yeah.
we have put that care into it. So.
Yeah. Which is not to say there aren't mistakes. Please don't go looking for mistakes. We definitely made them.
I'm not perfect. We're not gods. We're not
definitely
normal
made
people.
mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure
But we're
those
trying.
those imperfections also make the comic what it is with all you guys as well.
Sometimes.
Sometimes you still hate yourself about it, but sure.
And sometimes you're like, I should have done that differently, and there's nothing I can do about it. But yeah.
It's gone.
Jordie, this question is also for you. It goes towards the same theme. Tonal world building is a huge part of a colorist's job. How did you differentiate the world of Absolute Wonder Woman from the world you helped build in Birds of Prey through color alone?
I was really excited about this because this was actually, I thought, going to kind of lead into the last question about how did I prepare for the palette? And I think when it comes to Wonder Woman, Diana is so based in the reality of where she's at, right? Coming to topside, if you will, coming to earth in the human realm thing, words. Sorry, Kelly's the writer. So when she's there,
I know her.
I want her to feel grounded. I want her to feel like she's in a real place. And so for me, I can't help but think that me and Hayden must be aligned in this Ghibli love that we might have and share, and we're like traveling on the same wavelength
don't leave
together.
me out.
Well, no, but you're there. You said you wanted it. And I feel like that helps all these scenes because it's like a Ghibli film, you think so much about the five senses, how it tastes, how it feels, how you see it, how you can hear it. And Hayden's obviously always thinking about those examples. The first arc is such a great display of you have like the pier carnival area, the fair, and then you have all these buildings, all their signage, all the people, and then we have that the tetracide, explode after it turns into dust and all the dust falling. Like for me, when I'm coloring Wonder Woman, I think I'm just seeing it as an animated piece of work, even though it's not animated. And I find that largely inspiring, and it leads the whole book through. But in comparison to Birds of Prey, I took a note about this earlier. I thought of it as popcorn magic. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's how I see that book. It's not necessarily based in a reality like Diana, even though it is a reality. It's something more far-fetched, more retro, more like popcorny, like more light, more fun in a way. And Diana, even though she is fun as heck, she's the best, there's this subtle reality throughout the whole thing, which hopefully just extends into her feeling more your character, more your girl, like she's there. But yeah, I think that's kind of what helps me with that, the world building. Think of it as like an animation, a beautiful animation movie, cartoon I want to see.
Yeah. And I remember, oh no, you go ahead.
No, you go. No, you go.
Well, I just remember early on with the first issue, Jordie, you brought up a reference point of like Ralph Bakshi animation, kind of like 70s fantasy feeling as well, which was very like, it's so interesting because that wasn't something that I remember like having specifically in mind, but was like so like as while drawing that first issue, but it was so like of a piece with it. It's like, oh shoot, like you saw something in it where like a lot of my reference points, I'm thinking of like kind of similar comics from that period, sort of like 70s fantasy, like Slain or whatever we've got. Or, I don't know, that might be 80s. Anyways, like 2080 and I don't know, Lone Sloan, like all of these things that are kind of more weird and fantastical. And it feels like whatever I sent you for the art, I love that it brought out like, oh, Ralph Bakshi animation and these things and combined with that into what it is. It's so I don't know what I was expecting on that first issue, but I just remember being like, oh damn. And it's never stopped. It's you really nail like the textural feeling of everything. Like again, going back to the water reflecting off of the Titan. Like those things. It's
Yeah.
just those little details that then like finesse it up, those like extra
But that's all
notches.
your little details too, you know. Not to not take a compliment. I so appreciate that. Thank you. But I think it's, again, Kelly and Hayden are also putting in those details, and that is what makes it feel that Ghibli, like a French film, like we fit like a David Fincher film. We're placing these things. We're art directors. All of us are art directors. All of us are set directors. We're all thinking about it and putting in that time and effort. And so it makes it fun to think about, what's a trident really look like? Because listen, I won't lie to you. I've colored a lot of projects, and there are times where the connection, the emotional connection too, is just not that great. And I might get a page like that and be like, okay, cool, it's made out of water, blue overlay, bam, it's done. Like, this page isn't for me. I don't like it anyway. I hate to be so shady, but honestly, it's been 15 years. Not everybody appreciates the work that I want to put in. But then when I get something from Hayden and I'm telling Chris, you know, our editor, like, it's going to take me a minute. And Chris is like, we don't have it, but I'm going to give it to you. And I go, thank you. And then I look at this page and I have that solid hour to think before I color. And that's where it's like, oh man, we're going to do this. And then you get that magic moment, you know, but you can't get that without the breath, without the space, without the trust, without the time. So yeah.
I would also say I've never talked to Jordie about this specifically, so she might be like, "No, that's bullshit." When I say this, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have cussed. I apologize for cussing.
No, it's okay.
I am so good. I'm the swearer, and I haven't sweared at all.
I have the mouth of a sailor, so I am really on my best behavior here. But I think that talking about Birds of Prey and Absolute Wonder Woman as by the same colorist is like a really interesting experiment, because, you know, Birds of Prey has a very specific approach to it. This sort of, I don't know how you describe it, Jordie, but I sort of describe it as like an off-register feeling where it creates this effect of like looking like old newsprint comics almost, right? So it's got this like pop art sensibility across the whole thing, regardless of what we're doing. In every moment it has that. Now Jordie might change it a little bit to here and there as the story dictates to fit something, but the idea is that the whole world and all those different characters look like that. And that's an approach that I loved on Birds of Prey. And I know that a lot of people also really loved it. There were a few people who were like, it makes my eyes hurt. And I was like, well, then you're not looking at it right. Anyway.
Get a pair of 3D glasses.
Then stop trying to focus your eyes on it. It's not meant to be a single line. Like, you're supposed to see it this way. So, like, I love the experimental nature of that. And I was very excited about that choice. Especially, I think it worked on Leo's work, which, you know, Leo, Jordie, and I go all the way back to Hawkeye together. And I think that trust is part of how she was able to try that, and we were able to convince everyone to let us do that. But you could never have done that to Absolute Wonder Woman. Like, we could have a scene that does that, or like a moment because of magic. I mean, let's put that in our back pocket, Jordie. We should totally do that. It would be fun.
We'll talk later.
It would be fun to see that on that technique on a scene in this book. But because this book is building a whole world, I mean, like, I would say a good example is, we talked a little bit at the beginning, I feel like it was quite a bit, but maybe it was just a little, about we were going to be spending a lot of time in hell, and we didn't want that to just look like muddy darkness all the time. And then we also talked about it a little bit with the maze. Well, she's going to be in a maze for 4+ issues. How are we going to keep that distinct? How is that not going to just look like the same gray walls every time? And let me tell you what, unfounded concern with these guys. They completely found a way between the two of them to make hell scary and sad and desolate, but also interesting and not dull. And there's a lot of variation within it, even though it's all sort of grim, right? And then in the maze, I mean, yes, I wrote in some fun things to make sure we had to play with, like hallucinogenic flowers that we could go nuts with. But like, just with the way they were using lighting sources and magic in there, sometimes the maze would be bathed in blue and all these things. It was so fun. And I just think that that's like looking at your challenges and leaning into them. But it's also giving yourself the room to know that, and to know, well, this isn't the book where you can apply that retro finish across the board. It would never work. We're trying to do too many other little things, but you can apply it to be like, hey, how are we going to use color to unite these 5 disparate characters? Oh, we'll give them all the same treatment, but you can't do that on this book. So I just think it's stuff like that sort of levels up the kind of stuff you're talking about. And listen, it's a lot of stuff that some people who read comics will never get. But I do think
Yeah, that's fair.
probably the audience we're talking today really get it. Because they're people who want to
I hope
slap
so.
a moment in time on the wall. So like, I feel like they're really appreciating what's going into that there.
Gino, can I just piggyback off the thing where you say too the challenge? Because I made that comment about like, if another artist maybe who doesn't appreciate my skills or has that ego, I might not have been so like, I don't know, discerning when it came to coloring a beautiful water trident. But I do think it's like whenever I receive all of Hayden's work, there is this huge moment. I was just speaking to a bunch of college students a few weeks ago. There's always this big moment of paralysis because I'm like, oh God, what am I gonna do? This is so
Yeah.
good. I gotta tell them I can't do this. I gotta tell them it's the last day. I can't. I get so anxious. And Kelly knows she's gotten texts like this from me. And so I get so anxious, but it's the paralysis, I think, that if once you push through, it's not fear, it's the anxiety of wanting to meet a challenge. And I don't want to back away from a challenge. I've been in this industry too long and I literally refuse. I refuse to back down. So I will I make it. I try to own it, just try to do my best. But I love that we have these challenges that we try to actually meet rather than running away from or calling it in.
And Kelly loads the challenges. Kelly put
oh, poor Hayden. Hayden's like, I drew like 100 people.
There's like this oh my God. And like I love it. That's the thing. Like throughout my career I've always loved it when and not to encourage writers to give insane things. But but I do love it when it's like and she's at a gala and like there's all of this going around or there are sequences where like we might just be focused on one thing, but then you're like telling me what's happening in the background, like in issue 8, I think. Like what is it? We've got I think Diana talking to Barbara, but then in the background Steve is like trying to get a squirrel to come to him or a deer. And like I was just like that's delightful. And like but also it's like okay, we're creating some complexity. How do we get that all in here? And then like on top of like getting that in and feeling hopefully satisfied with that, or if I'm not, I'm like okay, Jordie, here we go. I really hope that this works. And then it always like pulls out in the end. Like
but you know what?
It's fun getting the complexity.
That's yet another example I would say of where we're all sort of watching each other's back, right? Because I'm trying to put that into the script because I want Hayden to have all the ideas I've got in my head, even if they're going to choose not to use some of them, right? I want them to have them at their disposal so that they can then make the best choices for the art, and they always do. But like sometimes I drop the ball. My favorite thing from issue 12 is all the menfish playing with the water in the background as the maze starts to fill with water, and they're so excited. And that is not in the script. I completely missed that. That was a hilarious, great bitch that should be happening. It's now my favorite thing in the book, and it's just this something. So like I do feel like we're all that's when everyone's working at the top of their game, is that I don't even have to remember to write that in because Hayden's like, oh, you know what would be great here? And then they put it in and I'm like, my God, thank God you said that, because I did not have my eye on that ball, and it ends up being just part of this great tapestry. But I wonder, Hayden, do you ever have that freeze moment? Because I have that freeze. I have two versions of that freeze moment. There's a freeze moment with the empty page where you're like, I can't believe I have to fill 22 pages. What the hell am I going to do? It seems impossible. And then there's a part when you're like, usually for me it happens when I've got about 4 to 5 pages left, and it's like, how the hell am I going to make all of this fit in? I only have 4 to 5 pages left. Now I got to delete pages or combine pages or change my mind about something because it's all going to be too tight and there's not enough room. So those are the two panics I have with every single issue, no matter how important it is. It always happens. But do you have that moment too, Hayden? A hitch moment?
I think like my two would be when after we've got the layouts done, and then I look at the I don't know, because I do my layouts as like you've seen them, they're like JPEG, just everything at once on one page. And the first thing I have to.
If there are any artists out there, Hayden does a version that considers the lettering, and let me tell you what, I don't know how helpful it is for Hayden, but for the rest of the team it's incredibly helpful, even to sometimes be like, oh, I've got way too many words on that page, we're gonna have to trim that because that's gonna overload the art. So just any artists out there, if you don't do that, I think it's incredibly helpful.
Yeah. I think it's super helpful because if I don't have a plan for how it's going to read, then I mean, this is a book. Like it's gotta and it has to make sense. I find that super helpful. But yeah, I don't know, when the first day I have to draw the first couple pages, then I'm looking at like all 22 or 25 or however long the issue is. There's a feeling of like, this is all going to exist one day? Like, question mark? Is it all going to be real? And I just have to remind myself, like, a day at a time, an hour at a time. Like,
Amazing.
eventually it will be real.
It's crazy you have to do that considering you're so fast.
Very prolific, yeah.
It'll be a book someday in 3 days.
Right, 3 days later.
Even with today's page, I've got, I mean, Kelly, you'll know the page. The I can't say the exact fight of sorts where like increasing panels as it goes down. And
yes.
NC 16, which is a lot of fun. But it's also like, today I'm like sitting down to work on it. And if I've got a page that's like 5 panels long and I've got 2 5-panel pages, like, okay, there's some balance usually there. But this one like keeps growing and then like stuff that needs to be in it. So there's like a part of me that's like, what? But then when I realized like, I work with timers. I try to like do like an hour chunks, just like boom, boom, boom. And so long as I feel like I'm hitting what I need to by the end of each hour, then I tend to like, okay, like if I like halfway through the day, I feel a little bit better.
Wow, that's really impressive. That's really
amazing.
That's really
very amazing. Can I actually ask a weird fan question, if that's okay, if the pod will allow?
Go for it.
Hayden, how do you deal with, I mean, you've had tremendous success, obviously, over the last year. It's been insane. But like, and again, these moments of paralysis, but have you ever had like a day of art block? And like, how do you, I know that's like such a silly question, but like you're it's unreal what you're accomplishing on the regular. So like, but I know you're just a person, but do you have a bad day? Do you ever take a day off and go like, I can't today? Or do you feel like you try to work through it as much as possible?
I mean, depending on, I don't know, I feel like whether this was something that was raised in me or something that I took away in like art school or whatever, like deadline means so much to me that like I'll like move heaven and earth to try and make it happen when I've got it in front of me. But that's not always like the healthiest thing for me, and I've come to learn that. But I don't know, I try to, so long as I've got my weekend, so long as I got 2 dedicated days
Good on
off,
you.
then I can go, I know I can go for 5 days in a row feeling usually pretty good. Like I can usually feel
That's awesome.
5 days.
That's awesome. Hayden is how you should be, kids.
Yeah.
Not me. I'm not gonna speak for Jordie, but where my situation is, I have no days off because I'm just not efficient enough with my work process. The way Hayden is talking about being very efficient for 5 days and then taking downtime, I'm more like always taking downtime because my processes are inefficient, and then that ends up wiping out all your actual downtime. It's a terrible pattern to get into. Jordie and I are also in a pattern where deadlines have become suggestions to us. It's very bad. It's
hard right here.
Listen, Chris is well aware of our problems, Jordie.
Yes, that's true.
I don't think we're hiding it from anyone. Anyway,
I also think like the artistic process is so complicated. Like it's also personal.
It's very personal for everybody. Yeah.
It's also like it's hard to compare. It's hard to compare things. Like Jordie and I make a lot less per. I don't know what everyone makes, but colorists. Let's generalize it. Colorists and writers generally make a lot less per page than an artist because an artist has way more work involved. So, but that means Jordie and I juggle multiple projects a month, and sometimes it's hard to balance that and get the balance correct so that none of your teams are suffering. Whereas Hayden has a different issue, although Hayden is so fast that they are juggling multiple projects.
I was going to say,
usually for a normal artist, that's not a normal thing. So it's a tricky thing. And listen, I won't speak for Jordie, but I do not take deadlines casually at all. I just sometimes this stuff takes longer, man, and whether it's a leveling up in my work or a slowing down of how long it takes me to get there, or I always say that the pandemic broke me a little bit, but I don't know, is that depression, is that work process, what is that? Who knows? And the end result is I'm never on time, and it's incredibly frustrating. And I'm working very hard to correct it, but it's an ongoing process.
But also, I think not to what you should pursue what you want out of your work-life balance, but like you're getting such good results.
Which is why Chris hasn't let go of us yet.
That's why we haven't.
The quality of the book will always take priority. Like whatever.
Thank you, Hayden. You're keeping us afloat.
Yeah, I do think that's true, but it is also true that like the plain on the ground truth is that Hayden does help keep the book alive. Because
100%.
when Jordie and I are running behind, the art isn't, and that's an incredible gift to give us. And I'm not trying to take advantage of it. I'm just trying to be aware of it, and that it's one of my goals is to get us more on track, so that at least for me, I don't have to send emails to say sorry anymore. I said that's what I want my New Year's resolution to be, to send even one email in 2026 that doesn't start with "I'm sorry, I'm running behind."
Yeah, you and me both, Kelly. But when we miss saying sorry, we should just email each other. Sorry.
Like just have 1,000 sorry emails in each other's inboxes by the end
just
of the
when
year.
we miss it, when we miss that stressful period. No, Hayden's the best for also participating in such a big way and helping us. You said that thing about how we just he gives us that room, Kelly, and I don't think you and I have ever had this room together in the works that we've done. Sometimes we are the one who is also sometimes it's all of us scrambling to keep the boat afloat. But I think in a way, and not that Hayden's doing that intentionally, and I super don't want to take advantage of that, but I do think that there's an element because of their responsibilities and their duty and their love for the work. It is enabling you and I to work at a different pace than we've ever worked, given it's a slower pace, but it's allowing us to explore. And I bet we're all going to sync up soon and it's all going to be great. But I will always owe big time Hayden and Leo, I think, for giving me this freedom and this trust. I don't think I would have been the colorist I am now if I hadn't had these types of collaborations. And Kelly too, obviously, being my ride or die for 12 years now. It's pretty incredible.
We do like to pair up. The best way for me to not have an argument with my editor about colors is to just put Jordie on the book.
And I'm here for it.
Do you want to argue about the colors every issue? No? Let's hire Jordie. And we don't ever have to talk about it again. How about that?
Me and Kelly send 17 emails about eye color.
I'm just very one of the great things about working with Jordie is I don't ever have to question what she's doing with a scene. She always brings a personality, a point of view to it. And so I'm never well, why is that chair purple? I know why the chair is purple. I know why everything is the way it is, because she colors with purpose and confidence.
Oh,
and
thank you.
It doesn't feel just arbitrary, which I think a lot of modern coloring feels a little arbitrary, a little over shiny, a little over bright, a little over rendered. It's my own personal pet peeve. I'm very out of sync with a lot of coloring these days. That said, I think some of the greatest coloring I've ever seen is being done by some of the best colorists in the business. So I think there's a very wide gap at this point. But it's hard for me when I'm misaligned. That's the biggest problem I've had on books is being misaligned with the colorist. And that doesn't mean the colorist isn't good. It just means we're not a match, for that book. Yeah. So I'm always grateful when it's Jordie, because I know that I don't have to have any coloring fights anymore. Just the occasional eye color conversation.
Yeah, conversation. But we're like a married couple. We're not fighting. We're having a discussion.
Yeah,
exactly.
We're working it out, okay?
Well, whatever you guys are doing, it is working. So keep doing what you guys are doing. And I think I'm actually going to take Hayden's advice about timing myself, because I do a lot of editing for my job here at CGC, and I think that's a good way, because I also am like Kelly and Jordie, where sometimes I get a bit distracted, but I like that, setting an hour and putting a goal for this much work.
Yeah, lights a fire under me for whatever reason. I don't know what that says about me, but
honestly,
I like that.
It makes a lot of sense, because I used to have a master to-do list, right? And then I started doing a thing where, because I felt like I was never crossing anything off of it, so then I started doing a daily post-it note, which was just a smaller second, these are the things today. And I actually ended up finding that incredibly helpful. Yeah. I don't know why I stopped doing it. I should go back to that post-it note system. Hayden has inspired us all today.
Well, Hayden, this next question is for you. Is there a specific comic issue, cover, or artist that changed the way you thought about storytelling in comics and how you approach your art?
Oh man. Okay, there have been so many. To highlight two, I feel like there were two, maybe three. There are three really big moments that I feel like early on when I was just getting started. So well, I don't know, 2015 or whatever. I found Ashley Wood's work and was like, holy shit! Like comics can look like this. If they can look like this, they can look like anything. It like broke my brain in this great way. And I started feeling a lot more free with line work and a lot more open with what I was doing. Just not feeling like I needed to hit a certain commercial mark, but in order to make comics professionally. So there was that, and then I kind of, after going in that space and having that mindset for a while, then I found the work of Philippe Drouillet with Lone Sloan, and so many other just insane books. And that broke my brain in a very different way, whereas, oh, the structure, the form of how comics work can do so much more than I ever thought it could. And that introduced me to much more, like really looking at the way that Carlos Aguero worked as on a layout level beyond just like an individual drawing level. And so many of the other artists that were kind of sharing space around that era, that a page can be a beautiful thing in itself if you really strive for it, that it can be like I don't know, pages of comics are this very unique form of visual storytelling that break things down in a like page to page and panel to panel. And a page is this sequence of time, and like time is such a precious thing, and comics are communicating chunks of time, blocks of time broken down into like the smaller increments of time. And that can be, there's a beauty to that, and that the page itself then can reflect that and kind of heighten and draw out the emotion within the moment, was something that Philippe Drouillet's work and other people in that scene taught me. And then most recently finding, as several years back, but still, Al Williamson. Like, I'd known about Al Williamson and how much of a master he was forever, but that was something I knew intellectually. But then a couple of years ago, I saw his work on like classic Star Wars, I think, the newspaper strip he was drawing. And it hit me in a way that I wasn't expecting. It was like, oh, like they can be this, they can be precise, they can be refined, and I don't know. There's something to it that I'm still chasing. I'm still looking at his work and trying to like carve out and figure out and find like, how is he doing this? It's part of why I've started to work much larger, because I saw that like, oh, the reason he got certain line qualities like this is because he was working at close to twice the size of what artists work at now. And in scaling up, I found not a version of what he was doing. I found other things that I've come to enjoy about that. So anyways, there's so many artists in between, but I feel like those three probably encapsulate a lot of what I've come to enjoy.
Those are incredible influences. Also, it's amazing. Like, I know this is true of you because A, you are always pursuing excellence, and B, you're quite young in this industry still, and have lots of energy and future ahead of you. But I love how much you talk about it as if you're still like, you're so good already, but there's so much talk about like growth and change and what you're learning, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
I hope I'll still be talking like that in 30 or 40 years. Like, I never want to feel like I don't know. I feel like year to year I find like a new thing I want to try, and I hope that
I love that.
But
I think that's a good, healthy part of an artist, to constantly want to grow and experiment. I love that. It's like they say, complacency, artist dead. So like, you're doing great. You just keep it going, bud.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Well, definitely excited
No
to
need.
see what's to come. This is a question for all you guys. Do you remember the first time someone ever asked you for an autograph, and how did that feel?
So I don't really do cons or signings, so it hasn't happened to me the same way. I don't even know that I could pinpoint the first one, but I also did a novel first, so mine was mostly through that, probably The Girl Who Would Be King. And again, it was mostly virtual, like it wasn't like person to person, which is a little different, I think. So I will cede this question to Hayden and Jordie.
I have like I was actually just telling my husband, I think my first interaction is actually a bummer. So I almost don't want to tell it, but now I do want to tell it. Only because I was at a signing for a really big book for Deadpool, and Deadpool versus something. I can't remember what it was. And I had this really big thing, and I went there, and I was happy to sign the book. But it's because of this interaction now. I always ask if people want me to sign the book, and I qualify.
Oh
I'm not the artist.
no.
I'm the
Oh,
colorist. Do you want me to? Are you sure you want me to disgrace your art? But somebody told me, my heart's like beating because I'm so sad to tell the story, but somebody was like, you're lucky I'm letting you sign it. And I was kind of just like,
Oh my God.
I,
What?
yeah. And that was like the third person in the queue. And I just had to sit there like, So after that,
yikes.
it was a bummer, but it's only been uphill from there. I think like
That's
it
good.
makes me feel
Oh.
better to know that more spaces have come to welcome colorists. Like again, even being here, like I really appreciate y'all having me and that people are recognizing the skills of
Mhm.
colorists coming in. Like, and again, that's a big shout out to Kelly, who has always like from rooftops for me. I think she's been so good. And Hayden is just the best collaborator one could ask for. And it definitely has helped my confidence and my self-esteem. So I've definitely signed a lot of books since then, and it's been very fine. I've had great interactions, lovely interactions. But it's going to be one I think that I'll remember forever, but it's only going to
Yeah.
be the thing that I'm able to always direct compare to now. And I'm so happy. So it's grand. That guy's lucky I signed his book. That's
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
he
he
100%
definitely is.
is. I'm so
Yeah.
mad at him.
Thank you, Kelly.
That's that's just
Well,
baffling. Like that a
yeah,
human said
that
that.
is. I mean, it's funny. I mean, without the colorist, the book doesn't. I mean, the book really takes shape
Thank you, sir.
with the coloring. Without that, it wouldn't have the feel that it does.
I mean, listen,
Thank you,
I'm
sir.
not having fights over the coloring on my book because I think it doesn't matter. I'm
Yeah.
having fights because it matters so fucking much. Oh,
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm
it's
sorry.
all right.
You got so intense, you dropped that bomb. I'm
I
sorry.
think
I was meant
it
to keep it light. I'm sorry. I brought in
it's
it upset.
just it's really important. It can completely change the shape and tone of a book. I mean,
Uh-huh.
it does. It's not a can. It
Does.
does.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's even weird sometimes. I mean, it makes sense that in comics we like split up credits and stuff, but like the fact that like art, like sometimes it's like art by and then color by, like
Yeah.
frames things as though the
Yeah.
color is not. Like any colorist I work with is full on an artistic partner in the
Mhm.
work. Like they're not like some separate entity completely. Like
the
yeah.
crediting was a little more accurate back when it used to be credited as pencils, inks, colors, right? But
Right.
now, because a lot of artists, including Hayden, pencil and ink themselves, it gets called art, but it is a misnomer. It is.
Yeah.
I agreed.
What's your story though, Hayden? I want to know.
Probably so 2015 my first like published anything that I had was like 2 pages of, I mean, I was a student at the time at RISD, and like Adobe had partnered with Marvel for like an Avengers Origins 2015 Age of Ultron is coming out kind of thing, and like I got 2 pages of Sam Wilson Captain America origin to draw.
Sick.
Written by Mark Waid, which was really cool. I've worked with him since, and I haven't reminded him about this at all. But he was like, so I had that thing, and I was that like part of the deal was like Adobe flew you out to San Diego, and it was like, wow, it was my first time at San Diego and stuff for the convention, and all that, kind of sophomore in college dream. But
oh my gosh.
they put me and like the 3 other students that had their 2-page stories in this. They were giving it out for free at the Marvel booth. The day before, like I'm in San Diego on my own, so like the day before, I'm like, I'm gonna see everything. I'm also pale as like all get out. I'm a vampire, so I didn't think about that at all and got horribly sunburned.
Oh
no! So the day of the signing, I'm like trying to be composed and stuff, and they like put us up on the Marvel signing block, and like there are just all these people coming by, and at San Diego, if there's something free and somebody's at the Marvel booth, like people will just come through. So nobody knows who we are or knows who I am or whatever. But we're just happily signing, and I'm having to explain, yes, I was out really long yesterday. Yeah, I've never been here before. Hope you have a great show. And
beautiful.
it was people were delightful, but I was like in like low key background pain.
Did you have a great tan after though, or do you not tan?
Oh, I don't tan. It just fades, and then
right
I'm
there
back
with
to
you.
being pure white.
Similar.
It's a freelancer thing, you know. I'm so like happy
True.
though that like people were still so kind, and what a great way to like go out. Like, I mean, obviously the elements got you, but that's why you stay at home now and draw. So that
Yeah, exactly. I learned
Yeah,
my
you
lesson. I
learned your
haven't seen the
lesson.
sights.
You learned your lesson.
Yeah, people were nice, but it was very much like no one knew who anyone was. It was just like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, but it still must have been a great experience being at the Marvel booth and people coming up and
Very
Oh,
neat.
yeah.
Very neat. Very neat. Especially as a kid. But anyways, yeah.
all right.
Oh,
This
as a
question
kid,
is
he
also
says as a, or they say as a young friend.
Okay, I will say that also. Oh my god, I got like into the industry at like 20, and I was like, man, by the time I hit 30, but then I didn't realize we're all aging at the same time. So like now I'm 30 and in the industry, and it's like still young.
Still young,
Like,
yeah.
Still young.
Anyways.
Yeah. Plenty of time.
This question is also for all of you. If fans could only get one book signed from this run, which issue would you recommend and why?
Well, if it's slabbed, I feel like it's more about the cover, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess if it's some key moment or some key issue, I don't know. I guess if I'm hanging on my wall, it's still all about the cover for me. So if we're talking about, are we talking about absolute? We're talking about absolute Wonder Woman here.
Absolute Wonder Woman. Yep.
I'd be hard pressed to not go with one, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Classic.
It's just so iconic. But I do really love 3 with a Hecate sign. I also love the super weird, is it 7 where she's got the glowing lasso? I love that one.
Oh yeah.
I think that's actually 6 because I have issue 7 on here, and I think that's with Cersei and Diana with the cool smokes. Yeah. That's my favorite. That and issue 13 with the glowy hands. Oh, so good.
11. Who are we kidding?
Oh.
That's what I'm doing. 11.
Yeah.
Is that the maze
with the the maze background with the crazy black and red Diana. I love that one so much.
Hayden's such a legend. When that one got sent in, I was like, crikey, this is a classic. This is going to be like around comics for the next 75 years. This is such a nice cover.
Yeah, I feel like it's a very defining cover for the run, I think. I love that one.
Stunning.
It was nice to see I don't know, anytime a cover drops, it's interesting seeing online response start to like generate, and Lord knows I try to avoid any of that to start with. But 11 in particular was hard to avoid. People really liked what we did there, Jordie. That was nice.
Yeah,
you really did.
Thank you for letting me color it.
That also got voted on for something to make a poster out of, or something like of other really great covers. So it's like people really responded to that one. So
that 11 and number 1 would probably be the 2 I would do
for you.
Sick.
It's good. It's a good choice.
Yeah, I'm sure it's definitely going to be exciting when you guys actually get to your signing and see what people actually sent in to get signed.
Can't wait.
It's going to be super interesting because I run a web store for just for my comps or whatever, and I am shocked by the covers people pick. So, I don't know. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, this goes towards the same subject that we're talking about. Hayden, your cover is the face of the comic. Once it is slabbed, what's the first thing you think about when designing a cover that eventually gets slabbed, in your case?
That's, I don't know. I mean, I hadn't thought about my comics being slabbed until I was asked this exact question. So, I don't know. I usually, when I'm designing a cover, I'm thinking of how I want it to sit on a wall of covers. Like, what's going to make this hopefully stand out or be interesting compared to whatever is going to be next to it on the shelf come Wednesday. So, and sometimes, I don't know, especially with a character like Wonder Woman, it's like, okay, well, she's had thousands upon thousands of covers already. Like, what can we do that's a little different? And I don't know, one of my favorites recently is I think 14, where it's just the close up on the logo. Like I love a real close up cover where you get real, I don't know, tight and intimate with something. But yeah, I don't know for when it's going to be blocked out. I don't know. I haven't really given that any thought. The other thought maybe that goes into designing a cover lately, because everything is so digitally like focused, like people will see things for the first time very often in a very small little like thumbnail.
Yeah.
While I'm drawing a cover, often I'll scale it down to be an itty bitty teeny tiny to try and see if like I can kind of make out the like basic shapes of it, so that if a reader is encountering that way the first time, hopefully like it won't just look like nothing.
That's super smart.
Yeah, that's
Hayden, you are
definitely
seriously
interesting.
brilliant. Like you're gonna be like a teacher. You must have had amazing like you were just such like a sponge of great ideas. Like you're sorry, I don't want to give you a big head, but like
Well, maybe
amazing.
it's because I'm older. I would have not thought of that at all. But yeah, but now everybody is looking at these covers digitally on websites and small little thumbnails. So
yeah, I don't know. It's if the goal of the cover is to sell the book, is to like get people in the door, then I think we have to kind of like play to whatever. I mean, hopefully it'll still work just as well on the shelf as it will on a phone or something like that. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, and hopefully it looks good slab.
Hayden, do you ever think that maybe, here's another question for you, that you're going to take Jim Lee's job someday at DC? In like 30 or 40 years, you might become the publisher.
I got my whiteboard laid out behind the camera.
Maybe it's that meme with the dominoes with the
oh yes.
CGC podcast becomes the next Jim Lee in 40 years.
Hey, yeah. That'd be crazy. And then we can all look back on this. Set it here first. Guys, this has been absolutely amazing. Thank you guys for being our first guest on the CGC Signature Series Spotlight podcast. My closing question for you guys isn't really a question. I guess it's, what do you guys have in the works that you guys want to promote or talk about or give us any insight on? The floor is open to you guys.
So I'm doing this book called Absolute Wonder Woman. I don't know if you've heard of it. So we're continuing to do that. I've got Buffy and Angel coming from Dynamite later in 2026.
Let's go.
We're going to start talking about that soon. I'm doing some more Jeff in 2026 and the other stuff I cannot talk about. Sorry.
Ooh.
What about you, Jordie?
I am working on Assorted Crisis Events, which is like the best, an image book. It's coming out. Thank you. It's one of those ones that like this, it just feels like a true collaboration and like a distilled creativity coming out the tap. I feel so grateful for that book. And also, strangely, I just want to give a shout out to the Jack Kirby Museum. We're going to be collaborating on something, and that's all I'll say.
Wow.
And I'm very excited.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
That's very cool.
It's again this little colorist, she's coming up. I'm doing stuff. It'll be nice. It's just a nice exploration of all this play and like with the retro work that I get to do. And those will, whatever happens, it's going to be for sale to the public, which will be cool. And otherwise, I'm also working on this little book called Absolute Wonder Woman with these like two kind of well-known creators. They're okay, I guess. And it's been great. Love it.
So I mean, specifically with Absolute Wonder Woman, we got the Batman Wonder Woman crossover coming up now, or this month.
This month, yeah.
So
it is last comic of the year, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Christmas Eve,
23rd. Yeah, so sweet.
And let's see here. The other, I don't know. A lot of the stuff that I'm on is currently very much in the works. Can't talk about stuff. But Superman issue 33, I did draw that. That also comes out Christmas Eve. That's
cool.
Lex Luthor, the Demon, part of their KO event, which is loads of fun. And I guess I can say also Batman Dark Patterns, we recently wrapped up all 12 issues of that, and it is available for pre-order for the collected edition, which I believe comes out March 31st, I think. If they're 31 days in March, the end of March. So that's it.
All right, everybody. If you notice at the top corner of the screen, there's a QR code that'll take you to the article for their signing. So if you guys want to send anything in to get signed by them, their deadline to submit is December 31st for their signing. And yeah, guys, thank you again so much again for being the first guest on the podcast. This was super fun. I think I'm going to ask Kelly and Jordie to be hosts with me because they also ask amazing questions.
We're just
I think you mean we're bossy, and that's okay. We're comfortable with that.
No, I love it. And yeah, everybody, thank you again for listening, and see you next time.
Thanks. Bye.